there's some kind of fetish with street dudes because we mistake them as being more masculine. I really wish that women would stop putting street dudes on a pedestal. And I mean, you see how Glorilla's song, she was talking about the type of dude that she wanted, and that's cool because she's selling you an illusion. And don't get me wrong, I love that song. I like Glorilla. But she's giving you, she's romanticizing and sexualizing the type of guy that you keep saying that you don't want. If we actually held ourselves accountable for the type of men that we chose, I don't think we would keep romanticizing men that are in survival mode. I've actually never dated a street guy that was very protective. It's a complete myth that they're more masculine and more protective, and they're actually more combative, and they lack a lot of emotional maturity because they're in survival mode. They're not trying to love you.
But see, you know why this is going to be a difficult conversation for us to have, and maybe I'll include this on after hours, is because it would then force people to take accountability for the type of guys that they had children with. It would force women to take accountability for the type of guys they associated themselves with earlier in their youth, but then they try to say that all men are bad or all men are a certain way when the guy that they should have married is the guy that they passed up on, and the guy that they shouldn't have been with, that their father would have warned them about had they been raised in a two-parent household, is the guy that they then choose to have a child with, or a guy that they choose to bust it open for. And so when you see a woman that is mature enough to be able to have this type of conversation, then that would cause for people to take accountability. And we all know that it is hard as hell. The most difficult thing that you'll ever be able to do or accomplish, if you're able to accomplish it one day, is to force a woman to take accountability. If you say, hey, you chose a man that you chose to have children with, and you knew he wasn't shit, and you knew he was going to be trash, and you knew he was going to beat on you, and you know what it is because he's not any different than when it is that you decided to have children with him, and he never married you and all of this stuff, and he already had baby mamas, then you're going to say, well, why don't you hold them accountable? And then you'll tell them, and you say, hey, well, listen, you can get 99.9% of all men in line, and then that 0.1% can populate the majority of women, and then you still can't necessarily hold women accountable. And if you have to solve for a problem, then you usually solve for the majority, not the minority. And if more men don't have children out of wedlock, then more women having children out of wedlock by a small minority of men, then who should you solve for? And they'll never take that accountability because they are obsessed with hood street dudes. And that's just the truth.